Hello, law enforcement officers. It's Anthony Bandiero here with Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training. And today I'm going to share with you the difference between open view and plain view. Open view is when you are in a non-protected area and you see incriminating evidence. One of the reasons they call it open view is because typically you're on open fields. What is an open field? Open fields are generally anywhere where you can see the sky and you're not in curtilage. Right? So I like to say if you can look up and you can actually see the sky, you're on one of two areas: curtilage or an open field. If you can look up and you see a ceiling, well, you're in a protected area, and how much protection that area gets depends on where it is. So for example, a home is going to get way more protection than the lobby of Burger King. But that's besides the point. So open view is when you see incriminating evidence or contraband or evidence when you're not in a protected area. Plain view, on the other hand, is when you are inside a protected area and see the evidence or contraband. Now, let me just make one thing clear. It doesn't really matter what you call it in your report. Most officers I know are calling this plain view no matter where they are, and that's okay. But since I'm a legal instructor for police officers, I figured I would just make a quick video and share with you the legal distinction between those two terms. Now, let me give you an example of open view. Open view is when you're walking down a sidewalk, right? That would be considered constitutionally under the Fourth Amendment an open field, because it's not curtilage, usually. And you're walking by and you look inside a house window and you see a marijuana plant in the window. Well, that's open view. You don't need any prior justification on why you're on that sidewalk, because the Fourth Amendment does not apply. So you could be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, you could be nosy, it doesn't matter. But now, a plain view example. You're called to a domestic violence. You go into the home and you look over and you see that same marijuana plant in the window. Now you have just seen it under plain view, because you're in a constitutionally protected area and now you see the marijuana plant. The important distinction is that under plain view, you always have to justify why you were in that place to begin with. So, assuming that you didn't see the marijuana plant as you're walking up to the house, the report has to make clear why you had lawful authority to even be in the home, whether it's the emergency doctrine, consent by one of the occupants, and there's numerous other judicially recognized exceptions which are going to get you into that home. But the point is, if you were not lawfully inside that home, then you cannot have the plain view exception apply. So for example, if you make an arrest inside of a home, and let's say the arrest is lawful. Let's say let's say during that domestic violence, you were in the home and you decide to arrest the husband for domestic violence. And now your partner sweeps the whole house, including the basement and upstairs, for other suspects. But none of the officers had a reasonable suspicion that anyone else was in the house that could pose a danger. And while upstairs, your partner sees a marijuana grow operation or drugs in plain view. That is unlawful, because if the courts find, just like I assume for these facts, that there was no reason to do the protective sweep, the officer, your partner, had no reason to be upstairs. If he had no reason to be upstairs in a protected area, then the plain view is prohibited. Now, we can get into other facts where, let's say that it was implied consent by the wife, but for our purposes, let's assume that it was an unjustified search. I hope this helps. Again, this is more of an academic discussion. I just like talking about these terminologies that the courts use, open view versus plain view. But the point is, if you call all of your views plain view, the courts are going to understand what you're saying. I hope this helps and you found this interesting. If you have any other questions for me, email me at info@bluetogold.com or go to our website, bluetogold.com, and you can purchase my search and seizure book there and also see upcoming classes. Until next time, be safe.